So here we're going to look at what are scatter plots. We're getting into some statistical stuff here, getting away from purely drawing graphs of lines here. So a scatter plot is a set of plotted points on a vertical and horizontal axis, right? So our Cartesian plane is a vertical and horizontal axis, right? Scatter plots allow us to reveal correlation in data. So what is correlation? So it's a pattern in the data. So for example, if I plotted a bunch of points, let's say temperature at certain time of day, okay? So let's say we started with the temperature at 6 a.m. and went to 3 p.m. And what we would see is it's not perfect, but generally we'd see something like that. Now if I drew a straight line that went through it, hold on here, let me get my fancy line drawer. I would get something like this, okay? And if you look at it closely, okay, these points are not, oh, that point's on the line, and that one's close, and that one's on the line, but those points are actually not all on the line. But what it does is it shows us a trend, a direction that the temperature is going. If we were to plot temperature versus time, it would show us a trend, right? If you did something totally different, in Canada, there is some man-made lakes here in southern Ontario. If you're from the southern Ontario area, you might know Bellwood Lake and Conestoga Lake. And what they do is they're reservoirs that are dammed up in the summer to control flooding, and then they get drained in the fall so that the river flows when there's no risk of flooding. So in the summertime, you would look at the water level. So this could be like water level. And this again would be time. You'll see time is a very common variable in scatter plots. So you know the water level in May and June and all the way to October. So what you might see is it's very high in May, and then June it kind of drops, right? And then they might, it might look like that, right? That would be your water level over time if they took a, well, what we do see is it's not a straight line. What we don't see until we draw what we call a line of best fit is we can see the pattern of the water level for the month from May through to October. The depth of the water would be decreasing as the water flowed down the river, okay? So again, these points, well, that one happens to be, these points are not exactly on the line, but we can draw a trend line or a line of best fit that works in, and that's how scatter plots work. It's plotting the data and seeing what the trends are, and those trends, we get into something called correlation.